All right, everybody, it's the Combatcast with the man they call Dave and Cheveruni, and we are going to do some MMA Jeopardy today. We're going to talk about what's coming up, talk very little about this past week's card. I think less said the better. And let's get started. First, here's the video. Are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3, and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Chevy, tell me what we got coming up.
All right, June 4th, we're going to be previewing UFC Fight Night Volkov versus Rosenstruck. Then June 11th, we're going to be back with the big UFC card, 275, Teixeira versus Prochaska, Yuri. And then June 18th, UFC Fight Night Cater versus Emmett. That's going to be a banger main event for sure.
Oh, yeah. Just stylistically, the way those two throw hands.
Oh, hell yeah.
Speaking of banger main event, talk about this past weekend. We were at Pistol Pete's for most of it. I did not even bother to check this card out. I did not hear good things from one of our buddies. I did hear that a lot of people thought Home won, but I also heard that it wasn't really a fight worth checking out. So.
Well, I'll just cruise through the card really quick. I watched it on Sunday because I did show up to Pistol Pete's for a limited amount of time. Sorry, Randy. Randy Oscar. I know I said I wouldn't be there, but on the prelims, our boy Parker Porter, he's from West Hartford, local guy. He lost to Halitan Almeida, who is a light heavyweight. Came up on short notice to fight Parker. He's just too fast. He wrestled him and beat him up and ended up rear naked choking him. So that's all right. That's I think he had 3 wins in a row before that, so he's gonna be okay. On to the main event. Iron Turtle, our boy Iron Turtle beat Eric Anders via split decision. It was a pretty close fight, but I just think Anders' cardio was really the difference maker. He just got tired really early. Commentary team was mentioning how great his physique was looking, and a lot of times all that extra muscle just burns through that oxygen faster, builds up that lactic acid, a la Tyron Woodley-esque sort of thing. So
yeah.
That's what happened to him. He's got a lot of losses now. He's in the danger zone for maybe getting cut at this point. I'm not sure, but he's got to be thinking about it.
It's 2 in a row, but
he's very up and down.
Yeah, his last 4 fights, he's lost 3, won 1, and had a no contest.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I don't know how much money he's getting paid. I always think that factors into the decision of keeping a fighter on the roster or not. If they're, a big money earner and they're losing fights, they get cut faster. So, Tabitha Ricci outclassed Polyana Viana on the feet for sure. She looked much better, faster, and then she was landing all these double-like takedowns, and Polyana, who's a great jiu-jitsu fighter, was too content off her back and just kept going for all these submissions, but ultimately never getting them. So she just fought off her back the entire fight, and obviously that doesn't look good to judges, so she ended up losing a decision as well. But I'm not sure what's next for Tabitha. She's looked pretty good in her last few fights.
Yeah, I'm looking at like right now women's strawweight, and I'm like, man, that's a tough division though.
Yeah, those top few fighters are a few levels above the rest of the girls, I think.
I'm excited about this next fight you're going to talk about, though.
Yeah, Michelle Pereira won a split decision over Santiago Ponzinibbio. This was what I claimed was going to be fight of the night, and I don't know if it actually got the award. Did well? I thought it deserved it. It was very back and forth. Both guys looked great, and definitely went for it the entire time.
One little note too, by the way, just because I didn't know this, and it was buried on the undercard. But Chase Hooper was on this card. He actually got a win.
Oh yes, yeah, he dominated. Actually, he looked really good.
Yeah.
They talked about, he's starting to fill out. I think he's 21 now. He's starting to look a little bit more like a man, not just a skinny teenager. He looked great. He looked like he had a new fire. He looked ready to go for sure. So
I might check that out. I like Chase. So
yeah, that was a good fight to go back. It was a very good performance. I was super happy to see that. I'd like to see him, move on and become a star in the UFC for sure.
Did you check this fight out too? I didn't hear you in the middleweight. This was on the main card. Chidi Njokuani.
Oh yes, I skipped over that one. Sorry. Yes, Chidi. It's Njokuani. I can't remember. I had it before we started recording, but yeah, he landed a brutal elbow on Dusko Todorovic. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, he's a great kickboxer. He's been on the regional scene. He had a bunch of fights in Bellator. He did well.
He's got 4 in a row too. His last 4 are all finishes, and finished in the Contender Series, and then his first 2 fights for UFC are finishes now at middleweight. So good for him.
Yeah, sometimes that's the plus to coming to UFC when you already have all that experience. You don't get flustered, and you know what you're capable of at that point, so you don't really get the UFC jitters and all that. But he had a good game plan. He waited for what he knew Dusko was going to do, which was clinch with him. And he just created space. He framed in the clinch and landed an elbow right on the temple and put him down. And the ref stepped in there quick, which he should have, because it was a great shot.
I wonder, he's clearly not even close to this guy. Like, he's not ranked or anything. He just started. But stylistically, I wonder a fight with Uriah Hall, somebody like that, where this guy's, right?
That'd be a very exciting stand-up fight for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like this. Edmund Shabazian, I know, who's fallen on hard times too, but likes to bring it. He's right at number 15 too, so maybe that's a realistic one, and that could be fun too.
Yeah, Chidi's not a young guy, so try to move him along as best they can, and that might be a good matchup. Shabazian. I don't know if that's a great matchup for Shabazian. I don't want to see him just get tunneled to obscurity, but.
But it's tough. He's the opposite. He's a guy that came to UFC very young.
Yep, exactly, and that's the risk you run at that point. So, main event time. Ketlin Vieira won a split decision over Holly Holm in a fight where not much happened. There's a lot of debate online I've seen. Ketlin landed like 4 significant punches in the fight, and Holly Holm held her up against the octagon cage for 10 of the 25 minutes of the fight. So Holly thinks she got robbed. It's really, and DC talked about this too. It's really a question of how you judge a fight. Is it, how much weight do you give damage? How much weight do you give octagon control?
Interesting.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Vera got the win. To me, they're not going to like rematch these two if they're not having an
absolutely not.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it, unless she's going to fight someone below her, she's probably meeting the winner of Amanda Nunes Pena.
That's what she wants. She said she would wait for as long as it takes for that.
Yeah. Okay. So even if those two have a trilogy for some reason, let's say Nunes wins, and Just wait it out. Yeah, I get
With
that.
that being said, Valentina also threw her hat in the ring, I believe, saying that she might go up and fight the winner of that. And she's definitely jumping Ketlin Vieira in line for that fight.
I would agree with that. So if that's the
Yeah.
case, she might have to take another fight.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Irene Aldana and Raquel Pennington right below Holly Holm next to her.
She already lost to Aldana, I believe.
Well, I mean, with her wins, that could be a fight that makes sense.
Yeah, might get that one back maybe. So.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right.
Do you think Holm's gonna get another main event?
Actually, thanks for reminding me because I was ready to just skip over this, but I was actually thinking about this too. At this point, I think, look, she's a mentally tough athlete. I was going to say woman, but she's just a mentally tough athlete to do like what she did in boxing, and then to even be the UFC Women's Bantamweight champion at one point, stop Ronda Rousey, to have these big fights that she's had. It's enough. It's impressive. She's had quite a career. I'm not calling it quits for anything, but I do wonder at this point, with women's boxing getting a little more shine recently with some names, if she wouldn't maybe be better going off financially and trying maybe to go back to boxing. I don't know where she ranks in the boxing world, but I mean, God, you want a championship already here. A couple of fights haven't gone anywhere. If I don't know what her contractual status is either.
Right.
I mean, if she's only got one more fight, let's say, I mean, a change of scenery and go to Bellator, you're a bigger name and you get some decent fights over there. I could see her being a champion. And, I mean, I don't know. I think she's got some good options in her career, but right now I feel like she's a little flat in the UFC, and a lot of those decisions that arguably could have gone her way. There were some really close fights that could have been, and her style though isn't always the most exciting. So I don't see UFC being in such a hurry to pay her loads and loads of money. So to me, I think does she get on the main event at this point? Not right away. It would take some work. And personally, I hope for a change of scenery as a fan. As a fan, I hope to see her maybe in Bellator or maybe boxing, because I am a fan of Holm and I'd like to see her in a scene, something different where she can maybe make some waves. And right now, her current UFC one, I just think, unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out. Now, she's a proud athlete. So that she don't give a shit what I think. She's going to obviously try to do what she wants to do. But she's mentioned about having some interest in boxing and stuff before again. I think Clarissa Shields was one of the ones she talked about, right? Mm-hmm. And I know she just recently lost an MMA fight too. And she was nowhere near so far had the career in MMA of Holly Holm. She only had 2 MMA fights, lost her second one. Her first one didn't even look that well against someone I think that was really picked for her.
Yeah.
So
she barely won. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, that's a fight that could make sense. And, with Jake Paul, doing some things like with, God, I'm breaking out. Famous
Amanda Serrano?
No. Yeah. But like, who's the famous boxing promoter they've been doing business with too? Eddie Hearn. Thank you. Yeah. So they're all working together. So, I mean, I could see some big stuff for Holly if she went back to boxing. And honestly, too, if she got into Bellator or even PFL and have a chance to win that $1 million, I think almost anything at this point would be a good career move. And if she does well in Bellator or PFL, in boxing, UFC's always back down the road, but get some shine back on that name, make some money, enjoy this part of your career. But yeah, that's what I think right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think she's not young as far as an athlete goes. She's nearing the twilight of her career for sure. I don't think personally she's going to get another UFC main event, regardless if she stays on the roster or not. I think her fighting style she's shown that as great a striker as she is, she's willing, if someone is a powerful striker to come against her, she's willing to just wrestle them and go to a boring decision. Now, is this fight going to change her mind after that, where she thinks she got robbed by the judges? Maybe, but I don't think so. I think she's going to implement the game plan that Greg Jackson gives her. And I don't think Greg Jackson's going to be changing his mind about game plans anytime soon. So as far as Holly goes, she had, like you said, she has expressed interest in boxing. And like you said, women's boxing is getting a bit of a boost now. So now might be a great time for her to go over there. She has won titles, multiple titles in women's boxing, so it might be time to make a return over there.
I'd like to see her in Bellator too. The more I think about it, I know like boxes, but like because Bellator, like if you look at home, like she's got that name, and if you look at it's real easy to market too and be like, she had a couple decisions not go her way that should have maybe gone her way, and it's real easy to sell her as a former UFC bantamweight champion. And Bellator is willing to do business with boxing, other promotions.
Yeah.
So I think the grass for Holly would be greener on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
But yeah, we'll see what's going on. All right, let's try some MMA Jeopardy, man. Let's see if we can bring this thing up.
Let's see if we can sort this out. See if I can figure out how to do this.
Sorry about drinking that water, Producer Joe. That's on me.
Okay. Can you see my screen? Can you change the stream to see the screen?
Absolutely. There we go.
Okay. All right. So the way we're gonna do this, we'll let you go first.
All right.
If there's any comments, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any Randy Osgoes or Cage My IQ, please don't shout out any answers. We'll give you an opportunity if Dave and I both get stumped. We'll give you like 10 seconds or something.
So you can pick. You're gonna hit the button. I can't.
I will pick whatever one you would like to start with, sir.
Okay. It looks like history is blocked out, right? I see that. Looks like.
I think that's just the one that you can start with if you want. I can select this if you want.
All right. Let's start off with history then. Let's start off with history for 100.
For 100? Okay.
Yeah.
This is the official name of the UFC. That's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Ultimate Fighting Championship. Let's see. Reveal Ultimate Fighting Championship.
All right. Like what is though?
No, that's fine. It doesn't.
Yeah, I know. I want to do it too.
Okay, so Dave gets the 100 points. Krylo Ren in the comments. Dave's gonna whoop your butt. That's my wife.
I know.
That's that great support from my wife.
Yeah, she tuned in just for that.
Yeah.
Wait, am I going again? Or
no, I'll go now.
Okay.
I will do Fighters Heroes for 300. The first ever female fighter in the UFC. Well, that's either Liz Carmouche or Ronda Rousey. So I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey. Okay. So that was for 300 for me.
Very good. I like that we're correcting. We know that could be the one. Not sure what that's going to say. All right. Well, I'll go for Fighters and Heroes for 500. Let's go all the way up.
500. Okay, we're going big. Okay. So this... All right, so let me tell you, this was made in, I want to say April of this year, I believe.
Okay, well, if it was made of April of this year, oh, God.
So that was last month.
Then it would have been Glover Teixeira. But it's going to be Tacho.
So maybe that wasn't the time. So let's skip that one.
Okay.
We'll give you another one.
Okay.
We're working out the kinks. This is the first.
So 500. Ethics and rules. Oh, interesting. This one
okay.
Can be
This is the most you can weigh in for the middleweight division.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple answers here.
Okay, I like this. I like where your head's at.
All right. So if you're weighing in for a regular middleweight fight, you can weigh in 186. That's a pound over. All right. The middleweight division is a 185-pound weight class. All right. So, or 186. And we all know
that's never made sense to me ever.
Right. And if it's a championship fight, I think you're allowed a half pound. We just recently.
Okay.
So let's see where we're at.
185 pounds. Yeah. We'll give you the points.
Yeah, I had a feeling. It's like I was going to tell you too. I was going to actually say or John Bone Jones, because I had a feeling. But anyway, let's continue with this.
Okay, let's. I'm going to go with Fighters Heroes for 400. This is the winningest UFC fighter in the history of the sport.
Oh wow,
winningest. What does that mean? Most wins?
Yeah, that's what I would take it as. I'm not actually sure, but the guys that come to mind would be like, I mean,
Well, let me guess first.
okay, because I mean, it might be. I don't know how accurate it's going to be.
Does it have to be winningest UFC fighters?
Yeah.
Like all their wins are in the UFC, or
yes, that's what I'm taking it as.
I'm gonna go with. Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna say it's either. Well, I'll give one answer. I'll say Cowboy, but I'm thinking it's either Cowboy or Bisping.
Okay, I would accept 3 possible. Cowboy would be one of the answers I would accept. Let's see what you got.
Anderson Silva.
This thing's bullshit.
So,
all
right. Well, I didn't
Google this right now. Here's the fighters: Donald Cerrone, Arvelasky, and Jim Miller are all tied at 3, with Damian Maia right behind at 22.
Okay, so next time we do this, I will look at the date that these were made, because I believe they're on there. So I will look at the dates, because obviously that is a big factor in these kinds of things. So no points for me.
That's all right. Let's keep going. I don't even know where we're at now. We got Randy in here. Let's go, Chevy.
Yeah. All right, Randy. I don't know if you were in here, but don't shout out any answers unless Dave and I both get stumped. Then we'll give you an opportunity.
Let's do this. This is business right here.
Yep.
What's the one next to it? Like our logo's over it.
Miscellaneous.
All right, let's go big. Let's go 500 miscellaneous.
Oh, geez. Okay. This is the most recent UFC championship matchup. All right. Let's go with you could just say the most recent UFC championship matchup.
Right. So we just saw a championship match in the UFC. What was the last match we saw? Give me a second here. So Rose and Sparza was the co-main event. And the main event, which oh God, who was the main event that night?
Dude, we need that Jeopardy music, you know.
Oh yeah. Why do I only remember the boring ass fight?
All right, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds.
That's fair. Oh, Sterling Yan.
Okay.
Sterling won.
I'm gonna say it was Gaethje and Charles Oliveira.
That's what it was. Fuck me.
Okay, so I'm gonna give myself the points because I don't know what the fuck this is gonna say. UFC 182. Yeah, that's 100 UFCs ago. So this is on me for picking this. But
also, it's the pay-per-view.
I'm gonna give myself those points. So
good. You deserve it.
Okay. All right. And now it's my turn. Let's do business for 200. I have no idea what's gonna be in these. So this is the amount of money it costs to purchase a UFC championship fight on pay-per-view. Well, this is probably old.
Yeah.
Right now, I believe it is $74.99.
It is.
It is. So let's see what it was whenever this was made. $50. I wish, but we know it's $74.99, right? So
yeah,
I'm gonna give myself the points for that too.
Like $49.99 at that point, actually. But
yeah,
anyway.
R.I.P. to those days. Am I right?
All right,
Dave. What do you got?
Let's go business for 400.
Business 400. All right. This is currently the amount of UFC video games there are.
Oh,
I know the answer to this one. So
okay, yeah, you might as well still. I'll just go 4.
That's right. 4 is right. What is 10 games? No, there's not 10 UFC games.
I wonder if there's like old school games that they're counting here.
I'm gonna give you the points because 4 is the correct answer.
UFC 4 is out.
What 10 games there are? Oh man, I picked the worst Jeopardy game apparently. All right, let's go with miscellaneous for 400. This is the amount of fighting divisions in the UFC.
Okay.
Let's see. $11. Sorry for all that dead air.
That's okay. Let's see what it says.
You got a different answer?
I think you're right. I think I forgot one. I had 10 in mind, so 11 sounds good to me.
All right. I'm going to go through them really quick.
Yeah.
Women's strawweight,
Yep.
flyweight,
Yep.
bantamweight.
Yeah.
I think I missed one.
Oh,
Featherweight. Does featherweight really count? It's just
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes.
it's
I mean,
well, Nunes is champ. Yeah, okay.
It's a belt, so that's 4. And
Four,
then
yeah.
men's division is
Flyweight?
flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight.
Oh.
Light heavyweight would be 11.
Yeah,
Heavyweight would be 12. So really, we're both wrong.
Yeah, I forgot a couple too. I forgot women's flyweight actually.
Yeah. So we're gonna go on. So that's the first one we both got wrong, I believe, though. So that's good.
Let's keep that stroke going. 500 business.
Okay. This is a country outside of the U.S. with the most UFC events hosted. Okay.
Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah, that's my guess.
UFC events hosted. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Let's see.
Brazil. Okay.
Yeah.
19's probably not the right answer, but it's probably
yeah.
still Brazil. So we'll give you those points.
Yeah. Because they made a big deal. Who made this?
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Some random person. So we got to do a better job. This would be better if we had, like a producer Joe or something to vet these questions beforehand. But
yeah.
Maybe next time. Let's see. All right. I'm going to do, you're getting a bit ahead of me here. So I'm going to do history for 500.
There you go.
This is the amount of fighters currently in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Shit. That would be
Dave,
hard.
Can you look this up?
I will.
Or do you have a guess first? I'm going to guess 12. I don't know. I really have no answer.
Well, the thing is about the UFC Hall of Fame too is it's broken up
right by fights and
yeah. I have a feeling at this time it was probably just fighters in there. There's a Wikipedia page on UFC Hall of Fame inductees. How many did you guess?
12.
Okay, so we got Gracie Show 2, Dan 7, 3, Couture 4, Coleman 5, Chuck Liddell 6, Hughes 7, Tito Ortiz 8, Pat Militech 9, Boss Rutan 10, Big Nog 11, Don Fry 12, Maurice Smith 13. So we're still going. Sakuraba 14, Matt Serra 15, Rich Franklin.
Matt Serra.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Okay.
And then finally Kevin Randleman at 17. And then they have they have a modern ring too. Which is
I was way short then.
Yeah. That would be a tough one.
All right. Well, what do you think this number is? Probably
4.
Yeah. 12. I would have been right with 12.
Right. I thought we could give that to you. Go ahead.
No. That's okay. All right. What do you got, Dave?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Damian Van Horn. We're trying out here, brother. All right. Let's see what we got left. Yeah, I'm going for the heavy ones here too. Let's go 400 UFC history.
UFC history. Okay. This is where the very first UFC match took place.
Oh, shit. Man, I don't know that one.
Just the state, I think, would be acceptable.
Okay. I'm going to guess Virginia.
All right. I'm going to guess.
Wait. I'm going to take one back, actually. I'm going to go Colorado.
Okay. I'm going to go with Alabama.
All right.
Okay. Colorado. You got it.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
Nice.
Let's see. I'm going to go with ethics and rules for 400.
Yes.
This is the most common submission that occurs in the UFC. I'm going to go with rear naked choke. You got a different answer?
Let's see.
Rear naked choke. Okay. What do you got, Dave?
All right. So we only got 300 left here. Let's go with history for 300.
Okay. This is the president of the UFC. That's a $300 or 300-point question, huh?
That's Dana White, brother.
Okay. I already gave you the points.
Nice. Oh, you want it back? There we go.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with ethics and rules for 300. Yeah. This is the amount of judges that judge each fight. 3.
Yeah, it's 3. Yep. Very good. Well, at least we're getting to stuff now where it's actually correct. We know this.
Yep.
Let's go miscellaneous 300.
This former U.S. senator attempted to ban the UFC originally.
Yeah, that's John McCain.
Yep, I agree with you.
That's,
Yep, John McCain.
yeah.
John McClane is from Die Hard.
Die Hard, yep.
But I know what you meant. So,
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with ethics and rules for 200. This is the amount of rounds in a championship fight. The answer is 5.
Absolutely.
5 rounds.
This is actually good. We should have tried to do the easier ones because they're probably more correct.
Apparently.
Let's do ethics and rules for 100.
This is the amount of sides in a ring.
4.
I'm going to go with 8.
Oh, because it's an octagon. I was thinking like a ring, but the ring would be 4. But all right, let's see what it says. 8 sides. Yep.
This is a UFC.
Right. Yeah, but I was thinking combat sports that is like, but yeah, right. Why would I think this would be that? Yeah, of course.
I'm in too many buttons. All right, I'm going to go with history for 200. This is when the first UFC match was.
Okay, I got to guess for this if you don't. So go ahead.
1993.
I'm going to go with 92. You might be correct though.
1993. Okay, yeah, UFC 1, 1993.
I had if it was 1993. I'm like, well, he said 93, so let me try to steal it.
Okay.
You're killing it, man. Let's go with miscellaneous for 200.
Chuck Liddell's famous nickname.
That would be the Iceman.
Yeah, it would be the Iceman. That is right.
You keeping score on this? I don't even know.
Yeah, you can't see it, but it's at the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right here. Yeah, you're winning by 500. So I'm going to go with business for 300, try to catch up here.
That's what you got.
This is the location most UFC events take place. I'm going to go with Las Vegas, Nevada. United States of America. That is correct.
Damn right. All right. So we're
close. We're getting close.
All right. Let me see if I can put you out here. 200 for fighters and heroes.
This is the largest size division for fighters in the UFC.
When they say largest size, we're talking about weight class. That's heavyweight. I
assume, yeah.
Okay.
Heavyweight?
So yeah, I would go heavyweight.
What is the heavyweight division? Okay.
It was so easy. I was like, is that right?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to go fighters heroes for 100. This former UFC heavyweight champion was once a popular WWE wrestler. Brock Lesnar.
That's right.
That's right. Okay. All right, we're down to our last 2 here, Dave.
I'll take miscellaneous.
This is the main contender for the UFC in Japan.
When was this made? This is what I think it is.
I'll let you guess two here.
Okay. Well,
guess an old one and a current one.
I would say Pride. And it's going to be the answer. Now, if current, I can think of Asia, not specifically Japan. It'd be one championship, I would think. But so yeah, let's go with Pride or one championship.
All right, I'm going to guess Pride or Ryzen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually in Japan, so let's see.
It'd be Pride.
Yeah, we knew what they were going to do.
So you are now out of reach, so you're going to win, but I will take business for 100. This is the amount of countries UFC is broadcasted. How is this a 100-point question when Dana White, who's the president of the UFC, was a 300-point question?
Oh, that's awesome.
The amount of countries UFC... this probably isn't accurate anymore. You might have
probably
to look
not.
this up.
I'll guess a number. You guess a number. Let's just see what happens.
I'm going to say 95 countries.
Okay, I was going to say 53. So.
Okay. 150. Neither one of us are right. That's a lot of good on the UFC.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so that's our first round of Jeopardy. We'll do a little bit more research on when the games are developed, because that made a big difference, especially in our history ones. So Dave is the winner. The man they call Dave with 3,000 points. I'm a runner-up today with 2,600.
Thank you, Dave.
Might be able to get some guests on here to play this with us. Doesn't always have to be just UFC. We might just go with MMA, or you might see this on some of the other podcasts on our network.
Yeah. We might try to do this with some wrestling too. We'll see if I can talk to Joe. Actually, Joe is filling in for me this week with AJ. So maybe he'll do this. Maybe not. Not advertising it, but something to think about. If we can maybe come up with something a little more up to date. But other than that, this is a nice little thing to do once in a while.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was fun. But Memorial Day weekend's coming up, so we'll be back to fighting in the next couple weeks. Tell us one more time what we got on tap, man.
All right, June 4th, we're going to be previewing UFC Fight Night Volkov versus Rosenstruck, big heavyweight fight. Then after that, June 11th, UFC 275, Teixeira versus Prochaska. Then June 18th, UFC Fight Night Cater versus Emmett.
All right, some good fights coming up. Guys, enjoy yourself this holiday weekend for the Combatcast. Next week, by the way, is an episode number 50. Looking forward to that. It's been a lot of fun so far. And guys, we will see you at the fights. All right, everybody. It's the Combatcast. Welcome aboard. We're going to have fun today. We're going to talk a little bit about UFC 278 and see some of the stuff that happened. An amazing head kick. And then we're going to do a little MMA Jeopardy. But before we do anything, here's our intro. Are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3, and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
Everybody. First off, Cheveruni, I'm excited to do MMA Jeopardy again before we do anything. But why don't we tell people what's coming up next week?
All right, September 3rd, we're going to be previewing UFC Fight Night Gan versus Tuivasa. That's a 3 p.m. card, so we're looking forward to that. Then September 10th, UFC 279. That's Hazmat versus Nate Diaz. Then September 17th, UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Yadong.
Yeah, thank God Ferguson and the Leech got added to that card too with Diaz and Chimaev.
Yeah, it was a pretty soft card before that. Still not the best card. They're really counting on Nate and Hazmat to carry that one for sure.
I'm sure they will, but as for like hardcore fans that want like, more fights, it's like all right. And especially we know we never know, obviously, especially after this past weekend. But I mean, we got a pretty good
It's like plus 2,200 or some shit like that, though. Right now, I'm sure that line will change by the time it's fight night because a million people are gonna bet on Nate Diaz because he has dumb fans. But we'll see. I guess nothing's outside the realm of possibility.
Absolutely not. Before we get into talking about UFC 278 main card, anything on the prelims you want to talk about?
No, there's a draw and a lot of decisions. Was not the best prelim card, unfortunately, but the main card made up for it.
No, the only thing I saw was there were a couple of flyweight fights in the very beginning, and they actually had finishes. It was like, so interesting. But we'll see. I think Victor Adamarino was a guy who was like the first fight on the card. He got stunned a few times. I don't know if you saw this fight, but he got stunned a few times, and then he came back and got the finish. But yeah, let's go right into the main card. Tyson Pedro, quick finish.
Yeah, he landed that great body kick on Hunsucker and then followed up with punches and KO'd him. Tyson looked like he deserved to be that minus 715 or whatever he was favorite for the fight. Hunsucker had no answers for him. Tyson was, bigger, which I don't understand how, because Hunsucker used to fight at heavyweight, but he was bigger, he was faster, stronger. Just definitely the better athlete. He's looked great in his last two fights since his long injury layoff. So I'm looking forward to seeing him fight, someone a little closer to his caliber for sure now that he's got those kinks worked out and worked off some of that ring rust. So I'm very excited about who he could be going up against next.
Absolutely. Women's bantamweight, Lucille Pedalova defeated Wulan TKO elbows. I believe it was round 2.
Yeah, this fight had no business being on this card. The main card, I don't understand why it was. I was under the impression that Marcin Tybura and Alexander Romanov was going to be on the main card, but that was a featured prelim bout. I wish that had been on the main card because it was a better fight. These two girls were both like one loss away from being cut, and it showed during the fight. It was a boring fight. Hopefully the UFC can do better next time. I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah, not sure why they were on there, but at least there was a finish. Then we went to Merab. Let's see if I get this right today. Dvalishvili?
Yeah, that's right.
Defeated Jose Aldo, unanimous decision. Not a very fan-friendly fight, but Merab looked good. He did what Merab does. I thought Aldo looked all right in the first round, was able to stop the takedown initially, but I felt like almost like Aldo just didn't have the patience to really, I don't know. He just was not able to constantly stop, the pressure Merab was putting on, and that was the big difference maker. So yeah, your opinions on this fight, and also with Merab clearly stating he doesn't want to face Aljamain Sterling. Any thoughts what might be next for him?
Yeah, the fight was about as I thought it would go, except for the fact that I thought that Jose would present a little bit more offense for sure. I understand, not wanting to get taken down for sure. And I think that Merab did a great job of showcasing his striking and then mixing in the takedowns. And that may have thrown Jose off a little bit. But Jose, all he did in that fight was try to defend takedowns. He didn't get any offense off, and obviously you can't win a fight like that. So a little bit disappointed for sure. I mean, Merab did everything he needed to do to win, so props to him. I read somewhere that Aldo was telling Merab that he was done when he was on the canvas there, but he didn't leave his gloves or anything like that. I really hope that's not how he goes out. As far as Merab and Aljo, clearly they're not going to fight. So I know there have been some talks about Aljo maybe possibly going up to featherweight, and that's something I'd be interested in. I think he presents a problem with this wrestling for a lot of guys up there. Yeah. If not, I don't know what you do, because Merab's just going to become the gatekeeper, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, Aljo has this almost like his enforcement there.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting. This fight, Paulo Costa, Luke Rockhold. I said it last week. I thought Rockhold was going to get destroyed, but I felt bad, and I really wanted him to win. I wanted to believe he'd be an interesting matchup for a style bender like we talked about, but he did not get destroyed necessarily. He was not close to winning, but man, there was a couple times he did rock Costa a few times. It was a crazy fight. It was probably not exciting in the sense of like a very technical fight. Both guys got extremely tired, but it was just fun. And I think I heard John Pollock say on Post Wrestling that it was a spectacle. It's the best way you could describe it. It was like a spectacle, and it was interesting, man. Rockhold then wiping that blood on him at the very end, which was just incredible. It just something like it really just made it. It was fun, and it actually at that point had really made the card fun.
Yeah, one exciting fight. Maybe the sloppiest fight I've seen since Dada 5000 and Kimbo Slice, RIP. But it was super exciting. Rockhold definitely won me over as a babyface by the end of this fight, you know, with all of his talk about fighter pay beforehand, and then, you know, obviously gassing and then, you know, showing the heart to say fuck you and then punch Costa in the face, and they was talking a bunch of shit, rubbing his blood on him, you know. He was tired like 2 minutes into the fight, though. The fact that Costa could not finish Luke Rockhold when he was tired, so tired, in fact, that he had to bend over and put his hands on his knees in the middle of the fight multiple times. That's not a good look for Costa for sure. And I actually think if Luke had enough conditioning, he would have won that fight easily.
Yeah.
So that's not what happened, though. Costa wins. An annoying person. I can't stand him. That was his last fight on his contract. He can kick rocks for all I care. He's never going to be champion, so I'm not sure he can go off and fight Jake Paul or be in an ice cream eating contest with Patty or some shit like that. But all the respect to Luke Rockhold for sure. Wasn't the biggest fan of his earlier in his career, but he has won me over at this point, and you know, good luck in his retirement. I'm sure he'll be fine making 7 figures as a model or whatever.
I'm sure he's gonna do okay. What's up, Randy? Underrated fights we watched. As far as this past weekend, I wouldn't say there was anything in particular that was underrated that caught my eye. There were some fun fights. Nothing comes to mind immediately. Maybe we'll get back to you on a future episode. Unless you got something.
I'd say in that PFL card, that Brennan Loughnane Chris Wade fight. I don't know if you watched that one, but I mean, I was excited for that one because I'm such a big fan of Brennan Loughnane. But it was a very close technical fight. Both guys did great. Brennan ended up pulling it out. He's going to fight his friend Bubba Jenkins, who we talked about last week, for $1 million. So good on him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Congratulations. Main event. Man, this fight really is like bookend. Like the first round and the last round. First round, kind of going back and forth a little bit. And Leon Edwards gets a takedown and gets the back of Kamaru Usman. This is fun and exciting. Now, I don't think
Usman's never been taken down in the UFC before.
Right.
So that was big.
That was big. That was fun. And it was like, okay, we got a fight here. But we really didn't have a fight yet. Like once, after that round, Usman started to really take control, really started to like dominate. And for the most part, looked like he was going to cruise the decision. Usman's Leon Edwards' corner is yelling at him in round 5. And we're thinking, all right, yeah, they're trying to motivate him, but you don't see Edwards as that type of fighter. He's not going out there and he's not going to be reckless. He's not going to do that. And 9 times out of 10, when you're in that situation, like you're done then. You're probably going to just cruise on to a loss. Except for this time. Usman ducks his head. Bam. He gets head kicked, knocked out with about a minute left, maybe a little less than a minute left. And Leon Edwards, a guy that people were going to talk about, will he be able to come back mentally from this loss? Now he's looking at the biggest fight of his career, a trilogy fight with Kamaru Usman, possibly in England, possibly in a stadium. Tremendous.
Yeah. Leon had a great first round for sure. But I think that takedown hurt Kamaru's ego or his ego. And so he went on to do what I thought he was going to do in the fight. And that's wear Edwards out. And he for sure did. Every time Leon went back to his corner, he looked like he was, he had given up. He was dead. His corner was screaming at him every round, which great corner work for sure. I don't know what gym he comes out of. I don't know his coach's name, but I'm impressed with them for sure. So as far as the rematch, great on Leon Edwards for sure. It'll be a huge thing. I would imagine it probably does get done in England. I don't know about a stadium or anything like that, but it could be on one of these huge London cards with Paddy and Molly and all that. But I would bet money that Usman gets that belt back. I know people are saying like, oh, he might be different because he's never been knocked out before. But I think you could tell with how he accepted his loss so graciously. He knows like, oh, I made a mistake, but that belt's mine. I'm going to get that back. So that's how I see it going. I bet he dominates Edwards in the next fight for sure.
I know Randy just asked if we have a problem with any of these rematches. Well, this rematch is necessary. Usman deserves it. Now, I will say this. Personally, if Usman just like went away, like, man, like we'd have, or went up a weight class or anything, you know what I mean? Like we'd have so many fresh matchups right now. Like Edwards could take on Kobe. You got Chimaev waiting in the wings,
He's got heat with Masvidal.
If Masvidal can Masvidal had to get a win, get back on track. But I mean,
maybe he's Masvidal. It's like the Nate Diaz thing,
Yes. Yeah, that Connor, all of them. But I just think that Edwards is such a breath of fresh air that I wish Usman didn't have a problem going up to middleweight to fight Stylebender, because I'd love to see Usman freshen things up and just take the opportunity to. I've never been a big fan of Usman jumping up to light heavyweight. I think that's such a stretch.
That's too much.
Yeah. But especially, look at this. He's getting head kicked by Leon Edwards. No offense, but what's going to happen then when you're in there with guys like, John?
Let Yuri kick him like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. Anyway. But, and it ended up being one of the best UFC pay-per-views all year. I'm not going to say the best. We had some real good ones this year, but it definitely ended up being one of the best. It was a really good pay-per-view.
It was a very good card. Yeah. I had hopes for it, but I think it exceeded my expectations for sure.
Me too. All right, guys, let's get ready for some MMA Jeopardy. We're back. We're doing it again.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully. So I did not pick out this Jeopardy, so I wouldn't know the answers. We had producer Joe pick it out. We're hoping that it's a little bit more relevant as far as time. So fingers crossed here, guys.
Some different categories.
Yeah, some different stuff. So let's see if we can get this going.
Yep. All right. I'm going to add it to the stream. And
all right, you won last time, Dave. So we will let you go first.
All right. Let's see. Let's go off right off the bat. Let's do martial arts stars for 500.
Okay. All right. Founder of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Man. All right. So it's the Gracie family. God, I can't remember who the original father was, but I'll go with Hiran. I think that's how you say it, Hiran Gracie.
All right. So should I say, if I have a different answer, should I say it so I can try to steal?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm going to say Helio Gracie.
Helio.
Okay. Helio Gracie. Okay. So I get 500 points. I just listened to an old episode of Joe Rogan where he was talking about Helio Gracie. So I knew that one.
Oh, nice. All right. I tried to go big. You stole it. So am I going next? Or are you going? Or
you go again.
All right. Let's go martial arts stars for 400.
400. Okay. Ex-featherweight and lightweight UFC champion from Ireland. Oh, wow. This is 400, huh?
Yeah. Conor McGregor, baby. All day long.
All right. Conor McGregor. That's right. All right. 400 for Dave.
All right. So now you would go, right?
All right. So I'm going to do BJJ belts for 300. Third belt.
Okay.
Purple belt. Purple. All right, let's go.
All right. I'll do BJJ belts for 100 then. Let's see if it's
100. Oh.
First belt. Okay, so it is. It's going to be white belt then.
Okay. You have your white belt, right?
I do.
All right. All right. Well, let's keep this one going then. I'll go for 200 BJJ belts. Second belt, I'm going to say blue belt.
Correct.
It's blue. Okay. All right, Dave. I got 1,000. You have 500.
Yeah, I'll go the 500 actually then.
BJJ belts for 500. Master belt.
It's a black belt.
Black belt. Red.
Oh.
Do they mean coral? Because coral is a belt, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like a red black belt. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have got that right because I also would have said black belt.
Right.
I wasn't thinking, the step above master, but
yeah, no. Interesting.
okay. So I'll go this time though, since neither one of us got that. Let's go for let's do UFC 300. Who is the president of the UFC? I'm going to say Dana White. All right, Dana White. All right, what do you got, Dave?
All right,
you got some points to make up here.
Dude, let's go 500 UFC.
Who? All right, who is the UFC heavyweight champion? If you give me a heavyweight champion, and we both agree that it's right, I'll give you the points.
Well, the UFC heavyweight champion is Francis Ngannou.
Okay.
So when did this come out? Who knows?
All right, Stipe, we'll give it to you because I think you would have known that one at that time too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right. So
that's the only problem with these Jeopardy games is we don't know when this was made, so the time is tough. So I'll go. I want to see what these global martial arts are. So I'm going to do global martial arts for 300. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Name.
So I'm supposed to pick what martial art he does, or?
Okay.
So.
Go ahead.
Is that what you think it is?
It's global martial arts stars.
No, it just says global martial arts. I'm going to say his martial art that he does is kickboxing. So I don't know, maybe it's called Dutch kickboxing or something. Do you have a different guess?
Let's see. To be a little different. Muay Thai.
Okay, so kickboxing. So that is what we're doing.
Yes.
Okay. Your turn.
All right. So yeah, let's go. Let's do global stars for 400.
Hickson Gracie. All right. So I assume you have to guess what his martial art is that he's famous for.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or BJJ.
That's right. Okay. All right, Dave, you caught right up to me. Let's do global martial arts for 500. Mr. Miyagi. I know this one. This is karate. You got a different answer?
No.
Okay, karate. All right.
MMA acronyms. 500.
500. All right, you're going for the big one.
Whoa.
UIJJ. I'm glad I didn't pick this one because I don't know the answer to this.
I'm glad it's all over the board between easy and hard. So I'm gonna go international jiu-jitsu, the unified. How about that? Oh, unified international jiu-jitsu.
That's pretty good guess. Italian Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. Where's the U in that?
It's so weird. Whatever.
All right, that strikes me as a legit 500-point question though, because that was tough.
That was tough. Yeah,
that's a tough one. Wow, I'm gonna stay away from that one. I'm gonna go with UFC 400. Name 3 common martial arts used in the UFC. 3 common ones. Well, hopefully, okay. I'm gonna say wrestling.
Yep.
BJJ.
Yep.
And boxing.
Boxing, absolutely. I mean, all right. I guess I'll try to steal, but I mean, you're right. I'll come with one different. All right. So BJJ's got to be there. I'll go with the wrestling, and I'll say kickboxing.
BJJ, kickboxing, wrestling, boxing, Muay Thai, Sambo.
Yeah.
So I would have been right.
Yeah, you got it. Yep.
Okay. That was a good question. Lots of answers. They had all.
Yeah,
the,
I like the way they
I
did
can't
that.
think of any other ones that aren't on this list, really. Unless someone's like, oh, kung fu or something weird like that, right? So that's a good question. All
Yeah,
right,
like-
this is your turn, Dave.
Oh man, I need get some thing. I'm gonna go stick with MMA acronyms for 400.
JKD.
Oh,
I think I know this one. If
Oh,
it's what I'm thinking.
okay. Man, I'm thinking. All right, so it's something.
And I only know this from the UFC video game, by the way.
Oh, really? Fascinating. Oh man, I have no idea. I'm gonna go just to say something. Junior karate discipline.
I think that this is from Bruce Lee's discipline, Jeet Kune Do.
Okay.
Jeet Kune Do. All right, let's go.
Chevy, you're on fire this time.
I'm on fire. All right.
BJJ belts. 400.
BJJ belts.
Yep.
4th belt.
So I guess it's gonna be the black belt. They gotta have the black belt on here. Oh wait, hold on. What was that? The 3rd belt wasn't a brown belt. So brown.
Right. 3rd belt was purple.
This is
So
brown.
you're gonna go with brown?
Yeah.
I also think it's brown. I gotta count them on my fingers like a weirdo, but yes, brown. Okay. So that 500 one was a throw off. It was, a hard one too to try to throw you off with that master. All right. So I'm gonna go with martial arts stars for 300.
Yes.
The greatest.
Okay. I gotta guess if you don't.
Is that Ali? I gotta go with Ali, right?
That's what I would go with, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What do you got, Dave? You got some
All right.
points to make up still.
Let's start off easy. UFC 200.
200. When was the UFC founded? I think this was on our last Jeopardy that we did.
Yeah, I could be a year off, but I'm gonna go 93.
Yeah, I believe it was 93. Yep. I remember that because that's when my wife was born.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go with global martial arts for 200. Bruce Lee. Well, we just talked about this, right? This would be Jeet Kune Do. That's his martial art.
That makes sense. Although I'll tell you what, just to steal, because sometimes these things are effed up, as we know. I'm just gonna go kung fu.
Well, I already hit the answer, and there's no answer.
Oh, no.
So we're gonna just skip over that one. I'll go again because
Okay.
I'm not sure of the answer. But so
Okay.
I'll go global martial arts for 100. Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. That's got to be boxing, right? That's a 100. Yep. Okay, what do you got, Dave?
We'll go MMA acronyms for 300.
BJJ.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay, yeah, that's right. We're gonna probably have some easy ones here. So I'm gonna go with let's do UFC 100. What do the letters UFC represent? Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Got it, babe.
All right. Your
All right.
turn, Dave.
Martial arts stars 200.
Chinese American legend, founder of JKD.
Yeah, that would be Bruce Lee, as we've learned.
Yeah, that's right. Whoever made this one's a big fan of Bruce Lee, apparently, huh? All right, I'll go martial arts stars for 100. Star of the film Kickboxer, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Definitely know that one.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think you can win, Dave, but let's see what you got.
You go 200.
TKD
T.
for MMA acronyms.
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo. Taekwondo, that's right. I didn't know that one. So, and we'll see MMA acronyms. MMA, mixed martial arts.
All right.
All right.
You avenged that loss.
Yeah. So we're 1-1 in Jeopardy now, Dave. So
Trilogy's coming up.
feels good. Feels good.
Trilogy's coming up.
Maybe
We're going to be selling out the UK. A bunch of crazy bastards are coming.
maybe next time, we'll get a fan or a guest on here, and we can play. Next time we play, we can get a third person, maybe mix it up a little bit.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
All right, maybe get Connie USADA. Maybe we can convince Miss Severuni to come on. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but
I don't know. I don't know if she wants to be on the camera, but
yeah,
Connie USADA would be fun.
It would be fun here. You gotta need the rematch now.
yeah, we need a rubber match. Talking about rematches, Randy, we got one, Dave and I.
You're gonna have to pay for it, brother. All right. Chevy, before we get out of here, let's see what they got coming up.
All right, September 3rd, UFC Fight Night, Gane versus Tuivasa. That's a 3 p.m. Eastern card. The big boys are going to war in Paris. We're looking forward to that one. Then September 10th, UFC 279, Kimaya versus Nate Diaz, and Li Jingling versus Tony Ferguson just got added to that card, so we're excited for that one. A couple old school dudes. And then September 17th, UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Yadong. Great bantamweight matchup.
Absolutely. Sandhagen, Song Ladong. Man, you just got so many good bantamweight matchups potentially out there. I think if Sandhagen or Song Ladong, whoever gets that victory, since we don't know what's going to happen with Sterling and Dillashaw yet, I say that's probably a good matchup for Merab next.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's going to have to fight down to one of these guys because it's so jammed up top. Mm-hmm. And those top guys, they need to fight each other.
Now, actually, as I say that, if Sean O'Malley ends up beating Peter Yan or anything like that for some reason, then O'Malley and O'Malley's probably going to get skyrocket a title shot.
Yeah, he's going right to a title shot because the UFC has a boner for him.
I say if Yan wins like we expect him to, if Sterling wins, which I'm not necessarily that's not a gimme to me. That one's tossed up.
Then maybe Merab fights Yan for sure because that's a fresh matchup.
I think so, and I think too, especially if Sterling wins and he wants to go up to featherweight, then fine. Let's have Sterling go up to featherweight, and let's have Merab and Peter Yan fight for the vacant bantamweight title if that happens.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to go for sure.
It's no respect to Sterling, but at this point, stuff like this, and God bless him, it's cool. But at the same time, now I kind of just want to root for Dillashaw a little more because I don't want this logjam. So many matchups. Let's get it going.
I mean, I'm a fan of Aljo, but I was always going to go for Dillashaw. So
yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, to me, it's let's keep that. That's why I like Usman. He's won me over the years. He's impressed me. He's so good. He was on, but man, Edwards winning, that was just a breath of fresh air. And it's because Usman just beat everybody and he's beat people twice now. So it's okay.
And he also, lately he's been knocking guys out more, but he on his come up, he was always great. He's always been great, but he's only recently gotten exciting. He was always boring before, just clinching and holding guys up against the cage, taking them down but not doing damage. He's only recently got it exciting, so it's a bummer that he lost that way, but you're right, it is a breath of fresh air. It brings a little bit more urgency to his career because he's definitely near the end. So I think in the long run this could be good for him. It gives him a real rival other than Colby Covington, who he's clearly better than. So
yeah, before we get out of here too, actually, I'll just ask you this question. I'm kind of curious. We have a mutual friend who years ago used to watch MMA, doesn't watch it as much. And he told me a while ago, one of the reasons why he didn't follow it was he got hip to the fact that, that you're going to get behind a star and eventually that star is going to lose. And, the idea is we're just going to pump out, new people and it can't last forever. And for me, it's just the opposite. As much as I may fall, for somebody and really like their act and really like their fighting skills or whatever the case may be, I'm always excited about the come up. I think that's what keeps me around as a fan. I'd be curious to see what people, what keeps them into UFC or MMA in general. But for me, I'd be curious about your opinion. I like the circle of life, so to speak. I like the new guy. I like the fact it's constantly evolving and we're going to see different people at different times.
Yeah, I agree 100%. the come up, like people's ascension to greatness is the best part of the journey, you know, watching people achieve things that other people say they can't do, you know, exceeding expectations. You know, even Connor on his come up, I was a big fan of his come up, you know, and, you know, eventually, you know, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain or whatever they say. So,
Yeah.
I agree with you though. That is part of what keeps me engaged in the sport is, you know, these stars that they're building, you know, these storylines that happen, in this chasing of greatness that we see from these athletes.
Leon Edwards was totally off my radar about a year and a half ago. You know, like before COVID happened, like I know he was about to get a title shot, but he still wasn't even on my radar then. He was kind of off the radar because he had won on like they were talking about some underwhelming fight night cards, but he was consistent. So he was going to get the fighting, which would have been a big deal at the time. He probably would have become more of a focus. I heard BT Sports at the time did this really great, you know, story on him. But then COVID happened. He disappeared. Then he just kind of became the guy to me that got shut out. Like, oh, this guy's supposed to go. Okay, now, all of a sudden he comes back. He's in my mind a little bit more because Usman's just destroying people, beating people left and right. Yeah, but you know, come this past Saturday, I wasn't expecting him to win. And as that fight continued on, I was like, okay, so this is kind of what we thought would happen. And then boom, one head kick later, now this guy has got a bunch of interest. And it's a great story. Like he's a star now to a certain level, you know, and he's going to get a big payday fight. And to me, that's like one of the really cool things about this sport is that people can literally fight their way out of like some horrible predicament they might have been into and make a happy ending for themselves.
Right. Greatest sport in the world for sure.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Thanks guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week, and don't worry, MMA Jeopardy will be back as well. But until next time, me and Severuni, we'll see you at the fights. All right, fans, welcome back. We're going to have the third and final. I won't say final.
Final of this year.
Final of this year, yeah. MMA Jeopardy. And I'm just finishing up a little sharing here. So, Chevy, maybe tell everybody what we got going on, how this works.
All right. So what we're gonna do, we'll let Age Before Beauty go. So I'll let the man they call Dave go first. He'll pick a tile. Points under a category. He'll get an opportunity to take a guess for that. If he gets it right, he gets the points. If he doesn't, I get a chance to steal. And then it will be my turn. And we will go until we've done all the categories.
So basically, just like Jeopardy, it's going to be MMA related questions.
Yeah, this is our third attempt. So we're hoping all of these questions are time appropriate because we got some previously that were like, who is the heavyweight champion right now? And we had no idea when that Jeopardy was made. So forgive us if we get any of those questions. So let's just get into it though, Dave. You know what? Before we start, I'm thinking if we do this again next year, we should keep a running total of our scores by the end instead of you win one and I win one. Yeah. We'll keep a running score of what our total points are, maybe.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right.
Let's get into it.
Let's just do other promotions. Let's start off with other promotions for 100.
100.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
This promotion was a direct competitor of the UFC and was bought out in 2007.
I'm going to go with Pride. Pride Championship.
Pride is correct. 100 points for Dave.
Yeah, on the board, baby.
All right. I am going to go with Guess that fighter for 100. The first man to hold two belts simultaneously. I'm going to go with Conor McGregor. That one was pretty easy. Answer is Conor McGregor. That's 100 points for me.
All right, we're both on the board.
All right.
Let's go other promotion. Let's go champions for 300.
Champions for 300. How many title defenses does Joanna Jędrzejczyk have? Let's go with their total.
I'm gonna go with 5.
5?
Yeah.
5 is the right answer.
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that for some reason. So
no, she was only one-time champ, I believe.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I don't think she got it back after she lost it to Rose.
No. If you count her title victory, then it'd be 6. But the defenses, I said 5. So.
All right. I'm gonna go with other promotions for 300. This promotion was short-lived due to putting all of its eggs in one basket. 2-part question. All of its eggs in one basket.
That's confusing. Oh, I have an idea. On the promotion, at least.
I have an idea. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You got a guess?
I got a guess. Affliction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elite XC. So with Kimbo Slice. So I was thinking all its eggs in one basket. I was like, what? I was thinking of like DAZN with Canelo, but I'm pretty sure this is just MMA. So all right. So nobody gets those points.
Off the board.
All right. What do you got?
Other promotions. Let's go 500.
That was tougher than a lot of the 500 point questions we had in these other ones, by the way. So, all right. Yeah, other promotions, 500.
It looks tougher.
This promotion is known for hosting events in a beach.
Oh, man. I
think I know this one.
Strike Force?
I'm going to go with Bodog.
Okay. Oh, that's a good guess.
Bodog, yep.
Oh,
so
nice.
I know that one because the documentary on Netflix or whatever. So, all right. I believe it's my turn. I'm going to go with champions for 500.
Okay.
Who holds the 4th spot on the total championship bout time? 4th spot?
I'll take a guess, though, if you don't.
Yeah, let's see.
We have a different guess. Where you go?
Championship. I'll go with Usman.
Okay, I'm going to go Frankie Edgar. Let's just see what we...
Okay. Randy Couture. Yeah, that was too far before my time. I wouldn't have got that one.
All right, I need to get a 500 here, too. So let's go 500. What's the last column here, Chevy? I can't see the word.
Guess that fighter.
Okay, let's do 500 then. Guess that fighter.
Okay. This fighter holds the record for the most amount of fight time. Hint, it's a lightweight.
Okay, I would have guessed GSP. So since it's a lightweight, I'll go Jim Miller.
I'm going to say that this was Frankie Edgar from when he was a lightweight, because I'm pretty sure it's him that has the most fight time.
Okay.
Yeah, Frankie Edgar. So,
God damn it.
I'm getting all my points from stealing your questions. All right. If everyone remembers, Frankie fought at lightweight, featherweight, and ended his career at bantamweight. All right, I'm gonna go with historic moments for 500. I'm trying to bury you, Dave.
I know.
When did the UFC sign with ESPN? Month and year? Oh, the month.
Yeah,
I am pretty sure it was 2019.
Okay,
but
I'll guess too. If you
I'm just gonna guess a month here. I'll say December 2019.
Okay, I'm gonna say January. So we are different. So we're both.
January.
It's definitely 2019. I'm gonna go January.
Okay. Damn. Okay, January.
Back to the game.
Let's go.
Let's get that last 500 miscellaneous.
All right. The first ever UFC fight.
Okay. Maybe unless you know it outright, it's it ends in a head kick. The guy's name is like Jared. It's a double G name, and the other fighter, Oh man, he's like a heavy set black guy because he gets his tooth knocked out. Something Tipton, maybe Jesse Tipton. If this is close enough, I'm going to say it's GG versus JT. Let's see how we are. Hey, TW, damn.
I'm not giving you that. You said GG. Like that's not enough.
I knew it was Jared something. I thought the other guy's name was Justin something, so that's my bad.
All right. I mean, you got way closer than I would have got. I got no idea.
I know. This is yeah.
Those are a couple tough questions. So
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with other promotions for 200.
Okay.
How many sports, including MMA, does ONE FC offer, and what are they? ONE FC sports. So they have
what are they?
MMA.
Yes.
Muay Thai.
Yes, I agree.
And I think they just do like regular kickboxing.
Okay, so that would be 3.
Like
I want to try to steal it from you. Okay, so I'm gonna go with 4, and I'll say they do. I don't know how they would work. It's like jiu-jitsu, but maybe they call it submission grappling. So I'll have to pick one. I'll go submission grappling. All right.
Okay.
Let's see what they do.
And MMA? So just those 2, or the other ones I said too?
Oh, the other ones I have 4. I'm going with everyone you said, and I'm adding one more just because I want to try. So
all right.
3,
MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Okay, so I got that one right.
I had a feeling.
I was like, I don't think they do submission grappling.
I don't think they do. I was like, I need something to try to steal this stuff, so I'm trying. All
right. You better go for some big ones here, Dave.
So miscellaneous 400. Oh wait, you know what?
Too late. Already clicked it. Sorry. What was the first established MMA team and gym? I have no idea for this. I would just guess a team.
I'm gonna go Pat Militek's team. Was it that Team Militek? I guess I don't know.
Is that what it is? I'll go Black Zillions. That's an old team, right?
Yeah, that's OG.
The Lions Den.
And Ken Shamrock.
Yeah. Nope, I wouldn't have got that one. All right, let's go with. Wow, we are embarrassing ourselves. We run an MMA show here. All right, I'm gonna go with guess that fighter for 400.
Okay.
This fighter has the most amount of knockdowns in the UFC. Knockdowns.
You know, I'll tell you, I think it's got to be a lighter guy.
I'm thinking it's Cowboy. I remember hearing that somewhere, but I'm trying to think like
whoever you said. Give me a chance. I'm going to try to steal it, even though I'm not really sure either.
I'll go with Cowboy. I can't. Like somebody else is on the tip of my tongue, but it ain't coming to me.
That's a good one. It's got to be I bet you it's a lightweight because it's got to be. I think heavyweights. It's going to be knockouts, not most knockdowns.
Right.
So I'll just go with another guy's been around. I'll go with Dustin Poirier.
Oh. Cowboy. All right, that's a lucky guess.
I thought it was right. I was like, yeah, but like I was trying to think like who else, and like I was like, I don't think it's one of the Diaz's. So
I thought I heard that like on a broadcast before, but then I thought I also heard somebody overtaking that, but it might have been like total wins or something. So
yeah.
All right.
So let me get back in here. Let's go guess that fighter again. 300.
This fighter is 0-4 in UFC title fights.
You have an idea? I think I know who this is.
Yeah, I think I know.
Uriah Faber.
Oh, no, I think it's Joey Benavidez, right?
I'm going Uriah Faber.
Did he lose 5 times?
I don't know. Well, Uriah Faber is my guess. So.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You stole it.
Yeah. Uriah was
always famous for being a bridesmaid, but I might be counting some of his WEC losses too.
Yeah, I think because he had lost to Dom in WEC, right?
Yeah. But all right.
I was pretty confident about that one. All right, I'm gonna go with guess that fighter for 200. We'll close out this category. This fighter has the most submissions in the UFC. That's got to be Charles Oliveira, right?
You know what? Go for it. I'll go Jim Miller just to try to steal it.
Yeah, Charles Oliveira.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's a monster. So
yeah, he is.
All right.
Let's go historical moments for 400.
First pay-per-view to do 1 million buys.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll go UFC 100.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna guess too. But I'll go UFC 105. I don't even know what that was, but 91. 91. I don't know what was on 91. I'm going to assume it was some GSP card in Canada or something like that. So,
Yeah. Could have been a Brock card, too.
maybe a Brock card, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I will go with. I'm going to try to pick up some easier points here. I'll go with champions for 100. The longest reigning light heavyweight champion. That's got to be John Jones.
I'm not even going to try to steal. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, John Jones. Okay.
All right. So this is the problem. Now I find myself in a position where I want to try to get back here. Let's go champions 400.
How many title reigns did Randy Couture have?
Shit, I don't know.
That's before my MMA time. So,
fuck, I don't know. 5.
I'll say 3.
Okay.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. You're close. You're close.
If Price is right. I'd be.
I'll go historic moments for 300. First women's fight. I know this one. This is Ronda Rousey versus Liz Carmouche. And I know this because we just talked about it when we were at Bellator.
It's the first UFC women's fight. Yeah. So that's.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably what you're asking.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. Dave, you got to get basically everything on the board here.
I'm just going to try to start mercifully going for points here. Let's go 100 historic moments. Okay. I'm throwing in a towel, basically.
When was the first UFC event?
92? 1993.
I think it was 93.
All right.
Man, 93. All right.
My legs are toast.
His legs are toast. Joe Rogan. I'll go miscellaneous for. Actually, I'll do other promotions for 400. Let's go. Let's go. The Dagger. The current Bellator welterweight champion as of December 2020. Bellator welterweight champion.
I got an idea. I don't know how to say his name though.
Hold on. Let me think. Welterweight. It's not Johnny Eblin, right? That's light heavyweight.
I don't know, honestly.
I don't know. I don't have a guess.
I think it's that guy that went into the military. It's like a Russian name. You remember the story where he was like,
the Ukrainian guy?
Yeah, Arshanov.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
let's see if it's close.
Hey. Yaroslav.
I got
I'll give you that one. Yeah. Yeah,
I remember that story. That's why, because the whole thing where
right. Yeah, I forgot about that guy. All right.
I'll go. I just stole that, right? So miscellaneous for 300. I'll try to get another point there.
What year did Zuffa buy the UFC?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Was it early 2000s? So they had it in 90. Okay, so it started in 93. We know they almost lost his shit for a little while. I'm going to go 2001.
I'm going to say 99. 2001. All right.
Ooh, all right.
1600 for Dave. All right. I'm going to go with champions for 200. The first and only man to win a title via DQ. That's Aljo, right?
Yeah, it's Aljo.
Yeah. Aljo, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
What do you got, Dave?
Miscellaneous 200.
What elbow is banned in the UFC?
Oh, what do they call that? It's basically it elbow to the top of the head. So it's like 6-12. Is that what it's called?
12 to 6, yeah.
12 to 6, yeah.
Yeah, 12 to 6, yeah.
All right.
All right. I'll do miscellaneous for 100. What does the UFC stand for? I think this has been in every single one of these that we've done. Ultimate Fighting Championship.
All right. And the last one, can I just get some more points here?
Who broke the longest title reign and who the holder of said who is the holder of said title reign?
I think it's the Anderson Silva title reign, and Chris Weidman broke that. So
yeah. Yes.
There you go.
That's right. All right. So there we go. That's our end of the year Jeopardy show. Our rubber match, your boy Chevaruni with a 3,000 points.
Yeah.
Put the man they call Dave in the grave. with his 2,000
I can't
points.
say.
2,000 points.
Oh,
So
wow.
I beat you by 1,000. And I think that 1,000 points was me stealing a couple of yours, you know? So.
Yeah. There's a couple
But you got that Yarnoslav Olive Slav one, so props to you for that one because I have no idea on that one. So
yeah, you got the Cowboy one too. That was a good guess. I kind of thought you were right on that too. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'll go Poirier.
I think this was our best Jeopardy game though. Like questions wise, I think this was the best one. So
there were some
out to
challenging
whoever made
questions
this.
here that dug a little deeper that we would both have to learn and brush up on a little bit. So it was fun. I wish I could have remembered the names of those fighters in that first ever fight.
Yeah,
kind of
that would have been impressive
because I just saw something about it maybe 6 months ago on a documentary about the UFC. I was panning through and I was like, oh, okay, that's it.
I already forgot their names. So
yeah, GG.
Gerard something and Willie something.
Really?
Billy. Shout out to those guys, but
shout out to the legends. All right, fans. That's going to do it from MMA Jeopardy. We'll hopefully have some more MMA Jeopardy in 2023. Chevy, I believe we already wrapped this up on the year end, but it's always a pleasure and looking forward to this new year. And let's just keep killing it, man.
That's right. Yeah, we'll see you in January.
See you in January, guys.